Hillary Clinton has some explaining to do after the Associated Press conducted a review of the 2016 Democratic frontrunner's paid speeches, the ones she gave between 2013 and 2015. And the review discovered that more than one-third of the groups that paid Hillary Clinton had business before government. The report went on to say, this is a quote, almost all the 82 corporations, trade associations, and other groups that paid for or sponsored Clinton's speeches have actively sought to sway the government, lobbying, bidding for contracts, commenting on federal policies, and in some cases, contacting State Department officials or Clinton herself during her tenure as Secretary of State. Well, in due diligence, we reached out to the Hillary Clinton campaign for comment on the report. We haven't heard back yet. We'll tell you if we do. Joining us now with reaction, author of Clinton Cash, the president of the Government Accountability Institute, and senior editor-at-large at Breitbart, Peter Schweitzer, and the president of Judicial Watch, Tom Fitton. It's great to see you both. First to you, Tom. So the average, about half of American wage earners make under $30,000 a year. Here you have Hillary Clinton getting hundreds of thousands for an hour's work. How great are her speeches? I've never heard her say anything that wasn't banal, but her speeches must have been incredible to get that kind of payment, no?
You know, she said she didn't know why people were paying her that type of money like Goldman Sachs and others, and now we know that this was insurance by these companies that have business before the government, take care of the incoming Clinton administration potentially, so their contracts are secure and they have a seat at the table, or they're not targeted by the Clinton administration. And on top of this, Tucker, she was also getting money from these very same entities while she was Secretary of State through speaking fees to her husband, which were going into their personal accounts. So the corruption began during the State Department administration of Hillary Clinton, not just when she was supposedly a private person.
So, Peter, if a foreign leader were doing this, we'd call it what it is, corruption. I mean, if she was an African Secretary of State, we'd say this is corruption. I mean, obviously. My question is, why did the Obama administration allow this? She was Secretary of State. Her husband continued to travel the world getting money from foreign interests. Why did they allow that?
That's a great question. I mean, look, the Obama administration put very few restrictions on the Clintons. The ones that they did put, it really wasn't a restriction. It was transparency, that they had to disclose all the donations to the Clinton Foundation. The Clintons didn't even comply with that. You know, this is the heart of the problem. The heart of the problem with the Clintons is where they go, money tends to follow. And this is a pattern, you know, Tom is quite right, this has gone on for a very, very long time. And particularly as it relates to foreign entities, if you are a foreign government or a foreign corporation or a foreign financier and you want to have access to a leader, it's very difficult. You can't contribute to their political campaign. You maybe can't contribute to the super PAC, but you can pay either their spouse or themselves a overinflated speaking fee, and that gives you access that no lobbyist could ever get you.
But Tom, here's what I don't get is the motive behind all this. I mean, how much money do you need? They've made hundreds of millions of dollars doing this. The only conclusion I can reach, I don't know what the other one is that they're greedy. They're greedheads. They're money worshipers. Like, why else would you do this?
Yeah, I mean, personally, they made $48 million while she was Secretary of State from these speaking fees, from the Chinese, the Saudis, the UAE, you name it. And you have to wonder if political power was a means to just getting more money, or getting money was a means to political power. I guess we can debate that till the cows come home, but it's part of a pattern. The administration, we looked at the documents. We had to sue to get the documents. We were stonewalled. And 215 speeches approved, rubber stamped by the administration. I think they said no later to maybe North Korea giving them money. But virtually everyone who was asking and to give the Clintons money, whether foreign governments or corporations like the banks, forget about the money she was getting while she was a private citizen. The corruption was the money they were getting directly into their personal accounts from foreign governments and major corporations with business before the State Department and the United States government while she was Secretary of State. It went to their personal bank account.
It's unbelievable. And Bill Clinton, of course, actively considered taking payment from North Korea. I don't know how they pay in gold or counterfeit cigarettes. I mean, how does a country like that pay you? But again, Peter followed this for many years. You know these people well. I know a lot of Democrats who are gravely embarrassed about this. Hillary's speeches to Goldman Sachs, for instance, that she will not release. Do you think she's going to be able to continue stonewalling demands for their release all the way through into November?
I think she will. I mean, look, this has been the mode of operation for the Clintons. They have resisted basic rules of transparency that they agreed to with President Obama. You know, groups like Tom have really had to go through aggressively and get what information we do have. No, I don't think there's any reason for the Clintons at this point to stop doing what they've been doing. They haven't been held into account, and they don't seem to be able to have to face any penalties for what they're doing. So I expect them to continue to do what they're doing. And Bill Clinton has already promised if Hillary Clinton becomes president, he's going to continue to give paid speeches because, in his words, he, quote unquote, has to pay the bills.
Boy, I think they are getting punished, Tom. I mean, this cranky elderly socialist from Vermont is hassling her from the left largely because of things like this. And that's what's so baffling. She knew she was running for president, and she's giving $100,000, $200,000 speeches to Goldman Sachs anyway. That's like alcoholism. Like, she can't control herself.
Yeah, there is some accountability, however indirect, for her conduct there. But more information is going to come out. I mean, we're still in court trying to get information about these, the speechifying from her years as Secretary of State. I'm convinced the email she hasn't turned over contained information about the foundation business and her personal monies that she was raising through Bill's speeches. So more information is going to come out, and it's going to come out soon. And recall, the FBI, supposedly, according to the Fox News, is investigating her conduct as Secretary of State.
Yes.
And whether there was criminal activity in response to the foundation work and her personal money raising there as well.
I hope so. I think this is a bigger story than the emails because it just reveals so much about where they're coming from. Gentlemen, thank you for providing so much information about this. I hope you keep it up. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Coming up next, right?